Hello friends, and welcome back to another virtual story time with Miss Liz. Today, we're reading another story by an Indian author and illustrator. This story is about a traditional Indian wedding celebration. And in addition to learning about some traditions, we're going to be learning some words in the Hindi language as well. Are you ready? Today's book is called Ritu Weds Chandni, and it's by Ameya Narvankar. And as you can tell from the cover of this book, there are some truly beautiful illustrations inside. Let's read. Oh, do you see these hands? They're decorated in some beautiful designs with henna ink. Ritu Weds Chandni by Ameya Narvankar. And over here is the invitation. It says, Ritu and Chandni are getting married and you are invited. Let's go. It was the day Ayesha had eagerly been waiting for. Her favorite cousin was getting married and she was excited. Ayesha twirled in front of the mirror and admired her lehenga. That is this beaded skirt that she's wearing. While waiting for her parents to get dressed, Ayesha made up a little rhyme. My Ritu Didi is getting married today, and I'm going to dance in her barat all the way, she sang with a big smile on her face. In Hindi, Didi means older sister, and barat is the musical and dancing procession before a wedding. On the way to Ritu's house, Ayesha remembered the fun she had had at Deepak Bhayia's wedding a year ago. She had gobbled up mounds of sticky sweet laddu and had danced with Ritu Didi and her other cousins in a big, noisy barat. In Hindi, Bhayiya means older brother, and a laddu is the sweet bread that she's enjoying here. And now, Ritu was going to be the first bride in the Kapoor family to lead her own barat, a wedding procession with music and dancing, and Ayesha couldn't wait to be a part of it. Traditionally, it is the groom or the man who leads the barat, but in this wedding of two women, it'll be a woman leading the procession. Ayesha's mind filled with happy memories when she heard her mother say, "The tradition has always been for the groom to bring the barat to his wedding. I'm not sure if everyone will be pleased to see Ritu leading the procession today." And Ayesha could see that her parents looked worried. And it's true. Some people like the idea of how things always have been, and they're not so open-minded and open to new possibilities that are different from what they've always known. So a wedding between two women and a woman leading a barat, that's a thing that some people are not too happy about, and we'll see what happens later in the story. Ritu's house was decorated with garlands of fresh marigold flowers. All the guests had gathered in the courtyard. Walking up to the gate, Ayesha could smell something delicious in the air. But something was amiss. She didn't spot any familiar faces in the crowd. Where is everyone? Ayesha wondered. She couldn't find her cousins Tanya and Rohan, or her Deepak Bhayiya and Tara Bobby. Even her grandparents weren't there yet. So you heard the name Deepak Bhayiya before, that is older brother, and Bobby is sister-in-law. That would be Deepak's wife. But you notice a lot of important people are missing. Do you think you know why that is? I think some of the family members don't support Ritu's marriage to another woman, and they're not going to show up to support her on her special day. Can you imagine how that must make Ritu feel to see that some of her family members are not there on her special day? I don't think it feels very good. Ayesha finally spotted her chachi, her aunt. Namaste, Charu Chachi. Where is the rest of the family? You may have heard the word namaste before. That is a formal greeting. Chachi Charu hesitated. They are not coming, little one. Why not, Chachi? Asked Ayesha, confused. Well, they are not happy to see Ritu marry her girlfriend, she answered, almost in a whisper. But what's wrong with that? Why shouldn't she marry Chandni Didi? Ayesha blurted. There is nothing wrong with them getting married, little one. Nothing at all, said Charu, looking helpless. It's just that some people do not understand their love. Turning to Ayesha's father, Charu said, Baiya, some of the neighbors have vowed to stop the celebration. We are worried. Everything will be fine, Ayesha's father assured her. Let's lead the Bharat as planned. You can see people are wondering if others will show up to stop the celebration. Just then, Ritu joined her friends and family in the courtyard. She looked radiant in a bright red and gold sari. Ayesha watched as her chachi painted a vermilion tilak on Ritu's forehead. That is the mark, this red mark. It's meant as a blessing. Then she helped Ritu climb onto a decorated mare. Ayesha gushed, Didi, you are the most beautiful bride I have ever seen. Ritu's face lit up upon seeing her cousin. It means the world to me that you are here today. I wouldn't have missed it for anything, Ayesha exclaimed, smiling back. The band started playing a lively tune, and soon everyone was off and dancing. Ayesha swept up her lehenga and pumped her arms in the air. The wedding fun had begun. The procession slowly wound its way through the neighborhood. People peeked out of their homes. They had never seen a bride lead a Bharat before. Some of those people shut their windows with a disapproving bang. Others hurled harsh words at Ritu. Their shouts grew louder and louder until the band had to stop in the middle of a song. Ayesha was shocked. Why would Ritu's neighbors say such hurtful words to her Didi on this special day? The Bharatis, now nervous, walked in silence. So you've already learned the word Bharat, which is the name for the procession, and Bharati are the people who are participating in the procession. Unfortunately, they're not getting a lot of kindness from the neighbors. It seems a lot of these people don't believe that two women should be getting married. And that is too bad, because as we know, love is love, and love between anyone is valid. Let's see what's going to happen next. As they turned a corner, the Bharatis saw stern-looking riders on horses blocking the path ahead. Ma, I'm scared. Why are they here? What do they want? Ayesha asked, tugging at her mother's sari. Do you see the signs that people are holding? They say no and unequal. These people are protesting against Ritu and Chandni's right to get married. Unfortunately, in India, same-sex marriages are not recognized, and that is a shame for the many people who are in love and wish to get married. Ayesha glanced up at Ritu. She was no longer smiling. Ayesha felt sad that her Didi was missing out on the singing and the dancing. Just then, she spotted a second Bharat coming from the other direction. It was Chandni Didi, and she too looked scared. She too was being followed by people who are trying to stop their celebration. The brides tried to move toward each other, but the riders stopped them from coming closer. The terrified Bharatis watched as they uncoiled long hoses and took aim. "Now!" shouted their leader, and ice-cold water rained down on the brides. The Barathis watched helplessly as Ritu's and Chandni's elaborate hairdos melted and their saris sagged and dripped. I feel bad when I look at this picture. I see many people who love and support their family members, and they are being attacked by these people who are intolerant, these people who do not believe that they should have happiness, just like anyone else. Ayesha was drenched and she began to cry. Through her tears, she saw Ritu trying to console Chandni. Ayesha couldn't bear to see her Didi upset. She had to do something. With all the courage she could muster, Ayesha walked up to the riders on the horses and she announced as loudly as she could, "My Ritu Didi is getting married today, and I'm going to dance in her barat all the way." And she started to dance. She twirled her lehenga and she clicked her bangles. With her arms up in the air, she shook her shoulders. She swayed her hips and she stamped her feet, and everyone was stunned. Charu Chachi jumped in and joined Ayesha. The band started up again. One by one, the Barathis gathered up their wet clothes and they joyfully followed Ayesha's moves. Isn't it brave of her to have stood up to those people who were being so mean? And she brought joy in a place where joy was not. Now, unafraid, Ritu and Chandni led their guests into the wedding tent. And once inside, everyone applauded and cheered. The brides pulled Ayesha into a tight embrace. "It means so much to us that you are here today," Chandni said softly. Ayesha smiled and said, "I wouldn't have missed it for the world, Didi." And here is the ceremony as it continued, with people celebrating the love between Ritu and Chandni and their saris being tied together to signify their union. And here are some pictures from the day, pictures from after those people tried to ruin the celebration. Thankfully, the celebration went on, and people like Ritu and Chandni, their parents, and Ayesha, they had fun and they celebrated the love that everyone deserves. If you're able to check this book out on your own, you'll be able to read the author's note at the end that explains a bit about why this book was written and why it's important. Thank you all so much for reading with me this week, and I will see you soon for more great books. Thanks for watching.